Neither doctors or us pay enough attention to the needs of our bodies and see if we're getting enough micronutrients like minerals, vitamins, or amino acids so we can be better and remain healthy. So what can we do to better feed ourselves and our cells better? Learning to pay enough attention to our bodies is just one aspect of being more self-aware, and it's certainly a habit that's important for us to keep our bodies working at an optimum level. If we don't pay enough attention, and on top of this, we add food that is poor on nutrients, the industrialization of food, and now the confusion of what we should eat and what we shouldn't. If we combine all of these aspects, we can see that it's not really a surprise why we have so many nutritional deficits. And this can happen at any age. In fact, half of the kids under the age of 5 are missing at least one important micronutrient that's important for their development. If we add all this up to our current lifestyle, it can show that we are eating too much but malnourished. These nutritional deficits are the cause of many problems like hormonal imbalances, circulation problems, or even preventable long-term chronic diseases. So for this video, we're going to look at which are the most important micronutrients and also which are the deficits that are most common, and obviously how to prevent them. The most important micronutrients are amino acids, vitamins, minerals, and some special fatty acids. With regards to amino acids, all proteins in the body are built from amino acids. These are the building blocks of your tissues and also your organs. In fact, when referring to micronutrients, amino acids are the ones that we need in bigger amounts. So if we need to supplement this, we probably want to consume them in bigger quantities. Essential amino acids are those amino acids that your body doesn't naturally produce. Therefore, we need to consume them from an external source, such as from a food or a supplement. They are important because they have an impact on lots of functions throughout the body, such as in the case of building muscle. Let's take as an example the amino acid leucine. If we don't consume enough of this amino acid on a daily basis, our body is not going to be able to produce enough muscle mass. And according to the studies, the right amount that we need to take is about 2.5 grams per day. If we don't consume this amount, our muscle development will be a lot less than that of a person who is consuming that amount. Or now let's consider tryptophan. This is another amino acid and is one of the most essential nutrients for the creation of an important substance like serotonin, which means that if your diet is low on tryptophan, it would be more likely to have depression because we lack serotonin. For the body, this means that we can't keep stable levels of serotonin, which means it's pretty bad. Aside from having essential amino acids, we also have semi-essential amino acids, and these are those amino acids that your body could produce, but when your body is faced with periods of stress or sickness, your body quickly uses them and places them on higher demand. However, if your body is low on essential aminos, it will be difficult for your body to produce semi-essential nutrients from amino acids because in the first place, you don't have the essential amino acids in order to produce them. So if you lack one, you will lack the other. We're in a time where nutritional deficits are increasing and becoming more and more common, which also makes these amino acids part of nutritional deficits. The reason why this is important to understand is because semi-essential amino acids help to control your metabolism, the control of your muscle mass, the control of and repair of your tissues, even self-esteem and cognitive development. A lot of the amino acids are used to produce energy and neurotransmitters that allow communication between neurons, as you might remember from previous videos. But now let's talk about vitamins. Vitamins are key for many processes of our body, and we need them in lesser quantities in comparison to the amino acids. But if we don't have them or have any of them in deficit, it means that the processes that happen as a result of those vitamins won't actually happen. If we consider the last example about our self-esteem being controlled by serotonin, other than needing amino acids like tryptophan, it also requires vitamin B6. And that's to show that our body has a lot of substances that need these micronutrients. And this is the case with vitamins. And that is to work properly, or just to be able to produce them, we need those vitamins. So think about dopamine, which helps our willpower and it rewards us for the effort that we went through. But on the other hand, it needs amino acids like tyrosine and minerals like copper to be able to produce it correctly. Without the raw nutrients, it doesn't matter how many times you do a dopamine fast, you will continue to have low levels of dopamine if you continue with struggle to overcome any present addictions, if you don't have these micronutrients present in your body. Among the vitamins, we have two big groups, and those are the hydrosoluble, which means that those are the vitamins that are soluble in water, and the liposoluble, which means that these are the ones that are soluble in fat. So what's the difference and why is it important to understand? Well, the first aspect is that in order to best absorb nutrients, we need to know that whenever I consume liposoluble vitamins like vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin K, and vitamin E, it's better to consume these vitamins along with other foods that have fats. For example, it would be a good idea to consume vitamin D with omega-3 oil and your eggs and consume it all together. So with respect to hydrosoluble vitamins like vitamins from the group B or vitamin C, these are easily eliminated through urine when we have them in excess, which means that all the vitamins that are liposoluble, once they begin to accumulate, they get accumulated in our fatty tissues. Because of it, well, they have to be more closely monitored so they don't accumulate in excess. Usually the vitamins that can cause this are vitamin A and vitamin D. However, the vitamins that are readily used through the body are vitamin A and vitamin D, which means that they are some of the most common ones which we normally exhaust, and we always have a deficit on them. Always remember that the hardest to exceed in levels are vitamins from the group B and C. Now we have minerals, and when we refer to minerals in general, I refer to two different things, which are electrolytes, which are the minerals that we need to maintain an electric charge in our cells, and the trace minerals, which are minerals that we need but in very small quantities, and they are a bit more rare but essential. The fact that they are rare doesn't mean that we don't need them. In fact, they are necessary in hundreds of functions of enzymes such as digestive enzymes or immunological enzymes. And if you have any deficit in any of these trace minerals, it means that the different processes are going to occur a lot slower, or they're going to occur and the results are going to be incorrect, or they won't just happen at all. The correct function of your digestion or the immune system need these trace minerals. They are also necessary for your circulation, your hormones, and much more. Think of the most known minerals like iron, which is essential for the transport of oxygen and also for cognitive development. Chromium, which is more commonly found as chromium picolinate, I think that's how you pronounce it, but it helps you to regulate your glycemic index, lower your insulin, and also lower your body fat. Think of zinc, which is used to strengthen your immune system, especially when it comes to viruses. Copper, which is used to produce more red blood cells and regulate arterial blood pressure. Manganese, which is an important mineral necessary to be able to reduce inflammation, and actually has been proven that if you have some sort of pain in your joints, if you use this other mineral combined with glucosamine and chondroitin, it will lower the symptoms of pain and also in advance arthritis. Manganese has also been shown to reduce premenstrual cramps, which if you have lots of symptoms during your menstrual cycle, manganese combined with calcium would be a good option to look into. Another trace mineral like molybdenum. With this mineral, we tend to give quite the opposite effect of a deficit. Actually, deficits of these minerals are quite rare, and excess of this mineral can cause issues even with fertility. On the other spectrum of things, a trace mineral that we're often in deficit is iodine, which, if you're familiar with it, this mineral is necessary for normal thyroid function, and especially during pregnancy, which is necessary for the development of the brain of the baby. For a mother that's breastfeeding, the requirements of this mineral is twice the amount of that of a normal person. The deficit of iodine continues to be till this day the major cause for intellectual disability that can be prevented. In fact, in several countries, it's estimated that around 10% of the population is going to develop some sort of problem related to thyroid, which many of them could be related to an iodine deficit. And 60% of the people of the population today are showing symptoms related to low thyroid hormone and are completely unaware of it, and they just think that it might just be some sort of metabolic problem or energy related problem. Many times this can be improved if we balance our iodine levels. Another important trace mineral that needs to be mentioned is selenium. This has been shown to work as an antioxidant and to reduce the risk of certain tumors and improve our immune system. It's also important in the conversion from the T4, which is the hormone produced by the thyroid gland, to T3 for short, which is the active form of T4. The lack of selenium has shown to low T3 presence, which means that it will not regulate our thyroid hormone levels. Also within this group of minerals, we also find electrolytes, which are minerals that have an electric charge or an ionic charge. These minerals also allow cells to communicate with each other and even to activate those cells. Think of a muscle cell when it needs to contract. It needs calcium and a charge in order for that to happen. And we can even observe this same principle in the case of neurons, which means that if I'm lacking electrolytes, all these processes are going to be more difficult to happen. Some of the most important electrolytes are sodium, which in later video we're going to see in more depth how this mineral is crucial and why stopping the consumption of this mineral is not such a good idea. Next we have potassium, which in recent studies almost 100% of the population that formed part of this study was lacking this mineral, especially at an intracellular level, because the majority of the potassium is inside of the cells and not floating around the blood. Another important mineral is calcium and phosphorus, which you already know are important for bone metabolism and also for proper cellular function, such as depolarizing these cells. And magnesium being another that's important to mention. And with all this information, if you thought that you didn't have any deficits because you have a healthy diet, well, I'm afraid to tell you that you might be wrong. Half of the population already has a deficit. In fact, soon after they turn 6 months of age, most people have some sort of deficit. And this has to do a lot with our current farming practices and overexploitation of our soils. Today, some of the most common deficits are iodine, potassium, iron, vitamin A, vitamin D, and omega-3, which that alone deserves its own video, and we will see it later on. A key concept that you need to understand about nutrients is that there are also anti-nutrients. And it may sound like a generic concept, but this is something of a plant origin, and it is a mechanism used by the plants to defend against predators due to the fact that they can't move. This function, it's a chemical function to prevent correct absorption of nutrients. And I will only name you the most important ones so you won't have nutritional deficits. Without a doubt, the most severe anti-nutrient is phytic acid. Today it is believed that phytic acid, along with overexploitation of soils, is the main reason for nutrient deficit. In general, the reason why this substance is an anti-nutrient is very interesting, because on the exterior of this molecule, we can see lots of phosphate groups. These phosphate groups, because of their electric charge, they can attract other minerals when they are inside of your body. Therefore, they steal those minerals away from your body instead of your body absorbing them. This particularly happens with zinc, iron, and calcium. And because the main sources of phytic acid are also sources of anti-nutrients, such as lectin, which is found in cereals, seeds, and legumes, it's important to know for the people that eat in excess, such as in the case of the people that have the macrobiotic diet, these people have a bigger risk of having bigger deficits in minerals that I just mentioned, especially with zinc and calcium. But if it wasn't bad enough, phytic acid prevents digestive enzymes from working properly, stalling our digestive system. For this reason, it doesn't matter the nutrient value of the food you're eating. You must understand that if it has anti-nutrients, in the end, you won't be able to absorb all of the nutrients because of this reason. So, to summarize, nutritional deficits are extremely frequent, which means that the majority of us have severe deficits, and our body needs those substances to work at an optimal level and prevent any sickness. And if you like this video, hit the like button, hit the notification bell, and subscribe, because we will be posting more videos like this one every week. Join us as we learn more and more about how to improve our lives and our health. See ya!